What's up, guys? Welcome back to Cool Fresh Garage. So today I'm about to do some work on my 2016 Ram 1500. I got an exhaust leak coming from the truck, so I'm gonna start it up, let you guys hear what it sounds like, and show you guys what I'm gonna do to fix it. So this is the vehicle right here. So when I cold start it, it's got a bit of a noise that you hear when you start it up. So I'm gonna start it up real quick. We'll see what we hear. Alright, so that's the noise right there. It's coming from this the driver's side exhaust. So there's a leak on the driver's side exhaust manifold. So the one on the passenger side was repaired back at the dealership when I had the truck under warranty. So when I bought this truck back in 2016, I purchased the extended warranty. It was pretty much like a Mopar warranty, but it extended the factory warranty, which was three years, 36,000, up to 6 years, 86,000. So there are some things I was able to get repaired. So one of them was the passenger side exhaust manifold, which that happened, I think it was right before 80 something thousand maybe. So I got 150,000 miles on the truck now, and today I gotta do this one on the passenger side. So I'm gonna show you guys what's all involved with getting that job done. All right, so one of the first things I'm doing is I'm getting the battery disconnected here. So that's pretty much a habit of mine. So I'm probably gonna get a rag or something and put between here so it doesn't reconnect, because you see how it just did that. So I'm gonna put something in between there to keep the cable away from the negative post. So the reason for doing that is the starter is on this side. I shouldn't come in contact with it, but I know just disconnect the battery just as good practice, because you know I don't want to accidentally hit or contact anything that will cause me a problem. So let me go ahead and get something to get that off of there. So that's what I ended up finding, like a good old car wash rag or something that's laying around. So got the battery disconnected, so I'm gonna get set up out here. So I'm gonna go ahead and jack the truck up where I can get the wheel and everything off, so get it supported real good. All right, so I got the truck supported. I got it jacked up, got it on jack stands. So now I'm about to go ahead and blast this wheel off. So you might hear my fan running in the background there, because I gotta try to stay cool while I'm out here. All right, so I got the wheel liner the fender lining out here. So like right here in this area, this is where the little, I guess the kind of little mud, the little mini mud flap that comes from the factory. But right here in this area, I had a lot of this dirt build up. You saw me like kind of rake it out of here, so, or get it out of here. I didn't realize that I would have a lot of dirt in this area right here. So I got all that pretty much cleared out. So I'm gonna get my vacuum cleaner and vacuum that up. All right, so on the driver's side of the truck here, I'm in here. Got so that's the exhaust manifold. So this is what I'm trying to get out to replace this gasket here. So I'm gonna start getting these, I believe they're 10 millimeter nuts. And then you have some 10 millimeter bolts in there. And then over here, you gotta be careful with those gaskets right there on your, on the, I guess that would be like the collector flange or the Y pipe flange. So here we go right here. This is a better look at it. All right, so yeah, so you got two, I forgot what these were, 15s, or I believe they're like 15 millimeters. So there's a couple of them. I've taken these out before because I've had this wall pipe down a few times. So in a lot of cases, I'm gonna see. Hopefully, I don't have to. I'm gonna have to loosen that middle, that clamp right there. But I'm gonna definitely get on both sides, get these flange here for the Y pipe, and also the cats too. So the cats are like integrated in this pipe, in this Y pipe. So I'm gonna get those loose and get it kind of down where it hangs down a little bit to give me enough room to get that manifold out. So a lot of times you guys may have rusted bolts in this area. So I've replaced these before because I haven't had one break on me, but when I did my transmission service, which is probably, I think I did that at 90-something thousand miles. That was a while ago, but maybe about 3 years ago or so. But so what I'm trying to say is my bolts should be good, but I'm just gonna take it easy. But yeah, I did have to replace these bolts, 2 on this side, 2 on the other side, because they didn't break on me, but they kind of got maybe like stretched or they were bent. So that's why I replaced them. So these should be good, but I'm gonna see. I'm up under the truck now trying to get this Y pipe loose. So I did have to use some PB Blaster and spray around these bolts up here. So I do have them loose. So on this side, I'm using a 14 millimeter gear wrench, and this panel over here on the passenger side, I'm pretty much just gonna try to get it loose. I'm not gonna take it all the way out unless I have to, but I can kind of sneak a wrench over in here and get up here. I do have a universal and a swivel and all that, but the angle of this one on the passenger side here is just too weird of an angle to kind of get through, like from down this way. So I pretty much just put my wrench up here and just kind of go through this side of the fender liner here to get it loose. And I'm able to kind of get pretty good leverage on that one to get it loose. So over on the driver's side here, I'm using a combination of this this long extension. This is like a Craftsman long extension, maybe like a 12-inch or something, with a universal and a 14 millimeter. And I've put this 6-inch extension on there, and I'm using just a swivel 3/8 ratchet to go up through this side here and get those bolts right there loose. And the plan is to have enough room to where the Y pipes just kind of swivels down, where it just kind of just basically swivels down and around, enough room for me to get this manifold out. So that's the plan. All right, so I got the 2 exhaust bolts on this side loose for the Y pipe. Just these two bolts here. So these bolts still look like they're in good shape. But what normally happens is they get like a little surface rust up in here by those nuts. So normally when you get those, if you ever replace these bolts, you'll get these little, they'll come with these little things here that kind of slide on the manifold there. And it's like a little, it's basically like thing with four sides on it that encapsulates the nut. But it's basically just a square, like a square block with threads in it. That's probably like 9/16 and 5/8. So even if you break this thing, if this thing right here comes loose, you can still put a wrench on it and kind of get them loose, you know, if you don't break the bolt. So I will be able to reuse these, but after a couple times of taking them off, you probably will need to replace these at some point in time. But these right here are okay at the moment. So now there's like, for the heat shield, there's like 4 nuts on these studs. So I'm gonna take those out. One's down there. So I'm gonna take those off and see what we got. Another thing to note is the oil dipstick tube is on this. It's like the tube is attached to this bracket. It's all like one piece. So you take that nut out. So hopefully I can just kind of swing it out of the way, or I may have to lift it up and pull it out. So it's an O-ring down there by the block. So as long as that O-ring is good, it should reseal, no problem. But I'm gonna have to take that all the way out to get this out. All right, so if you're doing this job right here, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna find out that you got 1 or 2 broken exhaust studs. So that pretty much what causes the exhaust leak. So I got 2 broken exhaust studs, one right here. So they both attached to this heat shield on the top bolts. So I got my nuts out on the bottom. These are the 2 nuts here that are out on the bottom. So, and now I pretty much just got the portion of the bolt, you can tell where it's broke off right there, and then also over here. So right now I got to kind of wiggle this because this one also doubles as the one for the heat shield and the oil dipstick. So that's what I'm trying to do now, is wiggle that loose so I can kind of get that pulled out. All right, so the other thing I forgot to mention is down here there is a nut right there, the bolt rather, that attaches the oil dipstick to the block. So it's 2 locations, down there and up here. I forgot about that one down there because it's been a while since I've done one of these. All right, so for this one right here on the dipstick here, I was able to get some grip pliers, some little small micro grip pliers on the other side of that bolt, and get this nut right here off. So that's going to allow me to get the heat shield out. So I'm trying to see, I'm not sure if this bolt right here is broke or not. I gotta see. I know the one in the back is broke on the top, but hopefully this one, it's probably broke the way the threads look. So that one's probably broke. But I know for sure this one is broke because you can kind of see where it's broke off right there. So, but I can get the heat shield out now, and I can kind of try to wiggle the dipstick out and get it out. So for the dipstick, what I normally do is just I'll just pull the stick out, and then just kind of, because you see these AC lines, it kind of goes in between there, and then I can kind of feed it, out of the way and out of my way. So for the oil dipstick, you just kind of do that, and then that's what I was kind of saying. You can just kind of, if you keep playing around with it, I think it's a knock sensor or something on the side of the block. I can probably unplug that for just easier access to kind of help me get it out of the way. So I'll probably do that. And after you can do that, you can just kind of just move it up this way. So I'll just probably let it sit right there. That way I kind of know which area it slides back in. Wait a minute. So you also got this retainer right here that's on the AC line that kind of helps support it. So, but when I get it to slide it back down in there, I can just, oh no, it doesn't. I'm looking at the wrong thing. But I'll probably just leave it right there anyway. This is actually for this right here. But I'm just gonna let it just sit right there because that'll hold it out of the way. All right, so now I can get my heat shield out. After kind of playing around and trying to reroute it. There we go. I'm just gonna just feed it kind of through here. Yeah, so this is the other side of the stud where it broke off, where the bolt broke off. So I'm gonna take a 13 millimeter wrench and hold this, and I'll take a 10 millimeter and zip this nut off here, and then I'll just set this heat shield to the side. All right, so now all I got to do is just get the rest of the. I got 2 more studs at the bottom. Just like one in this area here, one right there in that area there, then one right here. And then I believe all these other ones are 10 millimeters. I think the other ones are 13s. The studs are 13s. So I got like, maybe like, I guess 6 bolts to get out of there. Something like that, 4, 5, 6. So I'll go ahead and get that out, get the manifold off. I got all my bolts broke loose. Most of them are out. I got 4 of them still in here. A couple at the top and a couple at the bottom. So I'm just gonna zip these out. I'll probably go ahead and get the bottom one first all the way out, and then I'll come back and get these top ones out. All right, so now I'm moving the last 2 bolts. I switched to my longer extension here just to kind of help me, so I don't gotta fight around that steering column. All right, there we go. So this thing is loose and it's out. So that's so if you loosen the steering column, it makes it a lot easier to get it out. You necessarily don't have to mess with the steering column, but it is kind of tight getting the manifold out, but you can kind of carefully slide it down through here and get it out. So I just looked at it and inspected the manifold just to make sure it's not cracked. So there's no signs of any cracks or anything like that. Now I'm about to slide this gasket out of here. So, all right, so I got 3 bolts that are broken out. One of them is right here on that top part of the cylinder head. Usually the ones that break off are the ones with the studs that attach to the heat shield. So those have the 13 millimeter bolt shoulder. And then the heat shield goes over it, and then the nuts go on the heat shield. So I got one right there, that's 2, and then this one right here is 3. So I might just be able to get some vice grips and get that one out. But I'll show you guys a couple methods for getting those other ones out. So that's typically what happens on these Ram 1500s with the Hemi. If you got that exhaust leak, more than likely you got broken bolts. You got 1 or 2. So this is the first time I've had 3. In a lot of cases, in many cases, it's just 1 to 2. But hopefully it's not too bad to get those out of there. All right, so I got me a few tools here that's going to help me get those bolts loose. So I got a pair of grip pliers out there on that stud, on that long stud that's in there. So that's kind of loose. I can twist it so I can get it out the rest of the way with these pliers right here. I have a bigger set of these pliers, but these right here are smaller, so these would be better for the area that I'm working in. And this right here is a set of left-hand drill bits and extractor, and also got a center punch. So with a combination of these tools, I'll be able to get those broken bolts out. Alrighty.
So I just turned it in a couple times to get that penetrating oil around the threads real good. So now I can just pull it out. All right, so that one's out. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm taking a second to the smallest left-hand drill bit that's in my set. So that's what it looks like, right? That's that size there. It's kind of close up on the camera, but then I got this in my right-handed compact Milwaukee drill here. So hopefully, either a combination of this drill or my other drill, I can kind of get in here and get a pretty good angle so I can start drilling. All right, so I also got my other little drill here. So this one, in some cases, will work a little bit better than the one I just had. So I'm able to get it in a nice little angle here. So I got this in here. This one has a little bit more power too. So I usually get in there and make, I'll try to start off with a smaller hole. All right, so I got the hole deep enough to try to see if I can put an extractor in there. So that's pretty much what I'm trying to do now. So this one is a little bit more difficult than the last one I've done. So in many cases, with the left hand drill bit, you're kind of able to, once you start drilling, once the bit gets kind of locked up in the stud, it'll normally pull the stud on out. But in my case, I'm not having that type of luck. But I got a nice little hole. So this right here is the hole that I got drilled in there. So hopefully I can take a hammer, tap my extractor in there and get a good enough grip to pull it out. All right, folks, so I'm happy to report that I was able to get over there to it. I had to drill into it a little bit more with the left-hand drill bit, and then I was able to get enough on there so I can get my extractor in there. So I did go ahead and move the steering shaft out of the way. It's a 13 millimeter bolt, the pinch bolt that's down there on the on your steering rack. So I did move that and just fold that universal joint out of the way just to give me a little bit more room so I can just be able to get in there a little bit more straighter. So that one is coming out. All right, so here we go. So I really needed maybe like a 5 millimeter 12 point socket for the end of this tap. But the only thing I had that was close to that was a gear wrench, a 12.6 millimeter gear wrench. All right, so now it's coming. So I don't really think that 6 millimeter. I think it's a 5 millimeter. but it is working. But I'm trying to get my wrench to separate from the extractor, and right now it's not. But it is pulling it out. That's what we want. Want to be able to get the stud out. So that's it right there. That's the part that's broke off in there, and I got that one safely removed. So the next one down here is the one that's over here. So that's my next. That's the next one right there. So that's my last one I got to get. So wish me luck, because this has been kicking my butt here. To be honest with you, it's kind of crazy. I've done. Actually, I put headers on my brother's truck maybe back like January of 2020. He had a 13 Ram. I put headers on his truck, and he only had one bolt that was broken, that was stuck, and pretty much I got the left once I hit it with the automatic center punch, and I got my left hand drill bit in there. It came out while I was reversing out with the left hand drill bit. It came out maybe within less than a minute. Like, it came out instantly, like instant grits. It was out. But yeah, but every now and again, every situation is not going to be all that easy. So basically, this is I'm not saying that this is hard, but it was a little bit more involved than what I planned, because I've done a couple of these before where I've had to extract the bolts out, and this one's a little bit more of a challenge. But I am getting to it. So I'm down to this last bolt here. I got to see if my extractor will go in there. If not, I'm gonna have to drill it out some more. But in many cases, you can actually get them while drilling it out.
All right, folks. So I'm back with an update. That bolt that was at the top, it kicked my butt pretty bad today. I finally got it, just by the luck of the draw, to be honest with you. So you can see that it's nighttime out here now. We're starting to get some of the neighbors celebrating the 4th of July with fireworks and stuff like that. So to be honest with you, I didn't even plan on being out here this long. I did take me a couple breaks though, but pretty much I've been fighting getting that last bolt for most of the day. So I pulled out my welder here because I wasn't able to extract that bolt. It's just the way it broke. Like, the way it broke off a little bit deeper than the rest of them did. All right, so this is that bolt that broke off of the bottom side of that left manifold. So it just kind of broke at a weird angle. So I wasn't and then the other thing, I wasn't able to get my automatic center punch directly in the middle. So that kind of caused me an issue too. And while drilling it and trying to extract it, I couldn't drill enough to get the extractor in there. So I pulled out the welder, and to be honest with you, I did get a couple things to stick, but it would the bolt would, or the nut or whatever I weld to it, would break off. But it was turning, so that gave me hope, when it was turning. So that's it right there. So I almost got it out, and you can see this right here is pretty much my last straw, because I was able to get some weld. So I basically stuck a weld to the end of that bolt that broke off. It looked like a stud now, but I basically was able to get some material stuck to it. And then I was just pretty much like, what if I just kind of stick this nut to the side to see if it was gonna come. And I did that, and I'm twisting it, and it starts coming. But it's been moving a little bit all along. It's been moving like 90 degrees at a time. So it's like I knew it was turning, and but right here, this is basically the luck of the draw of me being able to get this thing out. So I'm about to go ahead and finish getting this thing on out of here. Actually, I can turn it by hand now. So, I mean, I kind of got lucky because I was thinking that I was starting to mess up the head, all kind of all kind of thing. It's been a little bit of a rough experience here, but I did get it. That's what it looks like. So all the threads and stuff is still intact. I'm gonna test fit a bolt real quick. But I'm glad that I didn't mess it up too bad, and I'm glad that I was able to get that out.